Nature has created some truly bizarre monsters. We've got lizards that shoot blood from their eyes, fish that generate electricity like living batteries, and bugs that liquefy their prey from the inside out. Disgusting? Yes. Genius? Absolutely. But none come close to this one. A feathered freak with a bald, alien-looking head, blood-stained beak, and a diet that'll make you gag. This is the vulture. Not just one species, an entire family of scavenging deathbirds that feast on rot, vomit as a defense mechanism, and literally bathe in corpses. Sound like a horror movie? That's just their Monday morning, and before you skip this video thinking you already know what vultures do, let me tell you straight, Hollywood got it all wrong. These birds aren't just gross, they're fascinating biological machines that clean up the planet, can detect death from miles away, and survive eating meat that would kill a human in minutes. We're talking about animals that drink anthrax blood and walk away fine. Birds that have evolved acid pools in their stomachs stronger than battery fluid. And their eyes? Think heat-seeking missiles that track dying animals before the animal itself even knows it's dying. You thought T-Rex was terrifying? Wait until you meet the real kings of the kill zone. Silent, ugly, underestimated, and completely essential to life on Earth. In this video, we're diving deep into the hidden world of vultures, how they track death from the sky, why they evolved to be bald, why vultures poop on their legs. Yes, really. And the twisted truth about how humans are killing them off, and why that might be a global disaster. This isn't just about some nasty bird you saw on National Geographic. This is a story of evolution, survival, and one of the most misunderstood animals on Earth. So buckle up, because what you're about to see might just change how you view life and death. Let's get one thing straight. Vultures look like nightmares. They've got wrinkled, featherless heads, eyes that seem too small for their skulls, beaks that drip with the remains of their last meal. If Mother Nature had a sense of humor, vultures were clearly the punchline. But here's the catch. That horrifying design? It's genius. Every creepy detail is purpose-built for survival. Let's start with the obvious. Why are vultures bald? You'd think feathers would help, right? Wrong. When your job involves burying your face in rotting carcasses, feathers become a liability. Blood, guts, brain matter, it all gets stuck in feathers. And with that comes bacteria, disease, death. So vultures? They evolved with bald heads, which stay clean and dry, making them almost impossible to infect. They don't need shampoo, they need efficiency. Then there's the beak. Razor sharp, slightly hooked, and powerful enough to tear through elephant hide if needed. And the neck? Long and flexible, like a biological whip. That's not for style points. That's so they can dig deep into corpses and reach what other predators can't. Lungs, heart, soft tissue, the jackpot of nutrients. And about those legs, get this, vultures actually poop on themselves. Disgusting? Yeah, but brilliant. Their urine and feces contain uric acid, which acts like a sanitizer. By urinating down their own legs, they kill harmful bacteria from all the rotting flesh they step in. It also cools them down in hot climates. Evolution said, why not do both? Now let's talk eyesight. Vultures can see a dead animal from miles away, even if it's just a scrap of bone sticking out in the grass. Their vision is about 8 times sharper than a human's. If you had vulture eyes, you could read a street sign from the next city. They don't just see, they lock on. And for those who think they just wait around for animals to die, think again. Some vultures actively track predator movements, know where kills are happening, and some species even follow each other, like death-spotting scouts. What looks like laziness from above is actually calculated strategy. They're scanning, circling, waiting for the perfect moment to drop in. After the danger is gone, but before the meat goes bad. They're not just scavengers, they're opportunistic masterminds. So yes, Vultures may be the ugliest birds in the sky, but that ugliness? It's the armor of a biological genius, an evolutionary masterpiece wrapped in feathers, stink, and death. And believe it or not, it only gets weirder from here. Because next, we're diving into the insane digestive system of vultures, and why eating things that would kill us is not just possible for them, but essential to Earth's survival. Imagine this. You're walking through the savannah, no visible signs of death, no smell in the air, and then, out of nowhere, a dark shape crosses the sky. One vulture, then 3, then 10. Within minutes, dozens descending in eerie silence. But here's the question. How did they know? How do vultures show up before even the predators do? Before the prey has even taken its last breath? The answer is both simple and terrifying. They're biologically engineered to track death. Let's start with their eyes. Vultures have vision so sharp they can spot a dead or dying animal from over 4 miles away. And not just any vision. Some species, like the griffin vulture, have eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's. They can see the twitch of a dying limb, or the collapse of an animal long before it starts rotting. But vision is just one piece of the puzzle, because while most birds of prey rely solely on sight, certain vultures have taken it a step further, all thanks to a bird that can sniff out death from above. And if you think that's smart, wait until you hear what happens after they eat. Because in the next section, we're talking about a stomach so powerful, it makes hydrochloric acid look like soda. These birds eat rotting flesh, anthrax-infected meat, tuberculosis-ridden corpses, and survive. And the way they do it? It's like a science lab from hell. The turkey vulture, for example, has developed a supercharged sense of smell. We're talking olfactory receptors so powerful they can detect ethyl mercaptan, the gas released from dead tissue, at parts per billion in open air. Let that sink in. They can smell death not just from miles away, but even through dense forest canopies. They are the bloodhounds of the sky. Predators often walk right past an animal that's on the brink. Vultures, they show up when the heartbeat slows, when breathing changes, when suffering begins. It's as if they're sensing death before it happens. Creepy? Absolutely. But nature doesn't care about creepy. Nature rewards efficiency. By arriving first, vultures don't just get the best meat. They set the order of death's cleanup crew. And when one vulture finds a meal, it signals the others, through spiraling flight, wing postures, and even loud, rasping calls. In just minutes, an entire food web assembles. You know what separates a vulture from every other bird flying above your head? It's not just the bald head or the corpse breath, it's their superpowers. Yeah, I said it, superpowers. Let's start with the eyes. While humans rely on smell or sound, vultures are like flying satellites. From over 4 miles away, a vulture can spot a carcass no bigger than a basketball. That's not just 20/20 vision. That's telescopic death detection. Their eyes are loaded with cone cells, giving them insane detail, vibrant color contrast, and the ability to track even the smallest twitch in the grass. To a vulture, the glint of sunlight bouncing off a bone is a neon sign that says, "Dinner's ready. Now let's talk noses." Some vultures, like the turkey vulture, have an olfactory system so advanced they can detect ethyl mercaptan, a chemical produced during the early stages of decomposition. Translation? They can smell death before the body even starts rotting. And what do they do when they find it? Not scream, not alert others. They silently circle, watching, waiting, sometimes for hours, until the perfect moment to descend. But wait, there's more. Their digestive systems, an engineering marvel. A vulture's stomach acid has a pH lower than battery acid. We're talking somewhere between 0 and 1. That's strong enough to dissolve bones, botulism, anthrax, cholera, and other pathogens that would kill most animals instantly. These birds eat what no one else dares to touch, And they do it with surgical efficiency. Oh, and in case you thought they were defenseless, some vultures have a tactic straight out of a horror film: projectile vomiting. Yes, if threatened, they'll regurgitate rotting flesh at the attacker. Why? 1. Because the stench is absolutely blinding. 2. Because they lighten their bodies instantly to launch into flight faster. A revolting escape plan, but effective. And then there's the leg poop. Yeah, we're going there. Vultures urinate on their own legs, and it's not because they're lazy. It's thermoregulation. Their urine helps cool them down under the blistering sun. Bonus? The uric acid also kills bacteria they've picked up from walking in rotten meat. It's gross. It's genius. It's nature's hygiene. These aren't just death birds. These are highly evolved, biologically armored machines, designed by millions of years of natural selection to clean up the world's most infectious messes and never get sick. While most creatures are built to avoid death, vultures were built to thrive in it. What if I told you the most important animal in your ecosystem isn't a lion, or an elephant, or even a shark? It's a vulture, and we're killing them. Fast. You see, vultures aren't just scavengers. They're nature's frontline defense against some of the deadliest diseases on Earth. When a carcass rots in the sun, it becomes a breeding ground for anthrax, rabies, tuberculosis, and a host of other infectious horrors. If left untouched, these pathogens spread to water sources, livestock, pets, even humans. But vultures, they show up. They tear that danger apart. They devour the infection and neutralize it. Their superacidic stomachs don't just digest, it purifies the landscape. They're not just birds. They're the hazmat team of the animal kingdom. Now imagine a world without them. In places like India, we don't have to imagine. Between the 1990s and early 2000s, over 97% of the vulture population vanished. The cause? A veterinary drug called diclofenac, used on cattle. Cows died, vultures fed, and the drug shut down their kidneys, killing them by the millions. The result? A full-blown public health crisis. Carcasses were left to rot. Rats and feral dogs exploded in number, feeding on the meat vultures once consumed. And with them came diseases like rabies and leptospirosis. India saw tens of thousands of deaths, billions in healthcare costs, all because we poisoned the birds we didn't realize we desperately needed. And it's not just drugs. It's habitat destruction, poisoned bait, power lines, and persecution. In parts of Africa, vultures are killed deliberately because poachers don't want their presence tipping off rangers. Think about that. A bird that cleans the earth gets murdered to protect the crimes of men. The irony? Vultures help keep predators away. Where vultures thrive, lions, hyenas, and feral scavengers stay at bay. Where vultures vanish, chaos moves in. Yet for all their work, no songs are sung for vultures, no statues built, no documentaries that make them look majestic or mighty, but maybe they should be. Because if vultures disappear completely, you're not just losing a bird, you're losing the final defense between humanity and the diseases that rot the world from the inside out. They've been called ugly, disgusting, even evil. They're the birds no one wants to draw, the ones that don't get plush toys or movie heroes. But maybe, just maybe, we've been looking at vultures the wrong way all along. Because while other animals entertain us, while others impress us with their strength or color, vultures serve us, silently, relentlessly, without thanks. They aren't predators. They aren't killers. They're restorers. They find the dead, and instead of letting it rot, they cleanse it. They don't cause death. They clean up after it, without violence, without chaos, just silent, swift, biological perfection. Let's not forget, these birds are incredibly intelligent. Studies show they have complex social structures, excellent memory, and even cooperative behaviors during feeding. Some can fly up to 200 miles a day in search of food. Others soar to altitudes so high they've been spotted by pilots flying at commercial aircraft levels, with lungs so efficient they can survive in near oxygenless skies. You call that gross? We call that elite evolution. And here's the twist. In many cultures, vultures were once sacred. To the ancient Egyptians, the vulture was a symbol of motherhood and protection. In Tibetan traditions, they performed the sacred sky burials, returning bodies to nature in a final act of honor. What changed? We did. We started seeing the world in polished Instagram filters. We forgot that nature isn't always pretty, but it's always necessary. But hope isn't lost. Around the world, people are fighting to bring vultures back. Sanctuaries are being built. Illegal poisons are being banned. Tracking programs are giving us insight into their flight patterns. And slowly, but surely, their numbers are rising again. Why? Because when vultures return, balance returns. Cleaner landscapes, fewer outbreaks, healthier ecosystems. It turns out the bird we ignored might be the hero we need most. So the next time you see a vulture circling in the sky, don't look away, don't cringe, don't mock. Understand this. You are alive and safe and healthy, in part because of that bird. And in a world full of chaos, vultures remain one of the last true guardians of natural order. So now you know, the animal most of us look at with disgust, with fear, or with total indifference may actually be the guardian at nature's gates, the unsung janitor that scrubs death from life and keeps plagues from creeping back into our world. Think about it. Without vultures, we'd be drowning in decay. Without them, disease would spread faster than fire through dry brush. Without them, ecosystems would spiral into rot, silently, invisibly, but catastrophically. And yet, we vilify them, we poison them, we let them die, all because they don't fit our idea of what's beautiful. But nature doesn't care about beauty. Nature only cares about balance. And vultures are the balance between death and life. The last line of defense between civilization and chaos. They don't ask for praise. They don't crave recognition. They just do the dirty work that no other creature can or will do. And in return, we give them extinction? Maybe it's time we flip the script. Maybe it's time we stop seeing vultures as monsters and start seeing them as miracle workers in disguise. Because if they disappear, so do we, slowly but surely. And now here's a haunting thought to leave you with. Some ancient cultures didn't fear vultures. They worshipped them. Why? Because they believed vultures didn't just feed on the dead. They helped souls pass into the next world. Not demons, not destroyers, but divine guides. Maybe, just maybe, the creatures we fear the most are the very ones keeping us safe. If you made it this far, you're part of a rare group that actually sees beyond the surface. You question things. You look deeper. And that means you're exactly the kind of person this channel was made for. So if you want more truths like this, the kind Hollywood won't show you and textbooks won't tell you, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. What animal do you think is misunderstood? Because next time, we might just uncover a creature even stranger, even darker, and even more misunderstood than the vulture. Until then, respect nature, question everything, and remember, the freakiest animals are often the ones saving your life.